Welcome to Inner Peace and Serenity with your host, speaker, coach, facilitator, Jeanne Muhammad. We hope that by the end of this show, you'll feel empowered and encouraged to live a better you. So take back your pen, take back your life, right here on Keever's Place with Miss Jeanne Muhammad.
Peace and blessings, beautiful souls. Welcome to Inner Peace and Serenity on Keever's Place, the Keever Murdoch Show and Podcast. I am your host, Jeanne Muhammad. Thank you for taking time to be with us this evening. We have an informative show planned for you as always. Our special guest this evening is S.C. Muhammad. She is a licensed professional insurance agent, owner of Hereafter Final Expense, the hiring manager at the Cook Group, and final expense specialist at Consolidated Planning. We're happy to have Sister Saida Muhammad. Good evening. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam, ma'am.
How are you doing this evening?
I'm honored to be here.
Oh, we're honored to have you here. I've been looking forward to having you with us. The subject that we're going to be discussing this evening is, pretty heavy, for some people. And, but I felt that it's important because it is all about finding balance.
Yes, ma'am.
In our lives, and we struggle to find that balance. And until we can, get a balance in all aspects of our life, then inner peace and serenity is going to elude us. So I wanted to talk about this subject. It's heavy, as I said, because we're talking about death. But I feel that it is necessary because it's such a vital, important part of our life. And with you, I want you to, just tell us a little about yourself. I want to know how you got started in the insurance industry. And so just tell us a little about yourself, what you would like us to know about you.
What your question? How did I get started in the insurance agency? I didn't, as a child, I didn't, grow up thinking one day I want to be a final expense specialist. That's not how it happened. What did happen is I attended a funeral of a very dear friend, and with speaking with another family member, they were expressing to me how another family member who is a insurance agent was able to, with the benefit program, take care of this funeral. And the funeral, the casket, everything was absolutely beautiful. And they didn't tell me the cost, but they were very happy, the family was, the fact that the cost was so, I want to say low, very reasonable. Mm-hmm. And that's what started it. So I spoke with her. She told me I needed to become a licensed agent, and that's what took place. Now, before that, I had always been, in terms of employment, in the service of service. Okay. For years, I was at the Oakland Unified School District, San Francisco Unified School District, in the classroom. We were called teachers' aides then. Okay. And then coming to North Carolina, I began working with disabled adults. I worked sometime at Carolina Medical's front desk. It's always been a employment serving others. And so this is no different.
Okay.
It's absolutely no different, serving others.
Okay. Others. And because I had spoke with you previously, and I said to you about selling, and you corrected me about, the selling. And so I want you to say what you told me as far as how you see you're presenting it.
Right. Salespeople have such a stigma. Can we agree? And, right. And after you're educated, you can make that informed decision on your own. It's really a no-brainer. It really is, because Everyone needs some type of life insurance, period.
Okay.
No matter your age, 0 to 100 plus, and the program that I represent, no one is denied. That's what I really want to get over to your listening audience, Sister Jeannie. No one is denied. So many people are walking around thinking that they cannot be insured, or they can't afford it. And I just wish that they would just have a conversation with me.
Yes, yes. That's a wonderful point, sister. That a lot of people feel that they cannot afford it.
Mhm.
And it's a wonderful point that no one is denied. So
Now, I write with other agencies. I do write with other agencies, but there's one particular one, and agencies have their rules, their regulations. Some will say you can't be overweight or underweight, a medication. One visit to the doctor can change your eligibility anyway. One
okay,
one prescription can do that. But I know that the program that I have, no one is denied.
okay, okay. That's wonderful. Why have you entered into it? And did you enter into it seeing that you would have reached the stage in it that you have now? Because you seem with all the credentials that you have that that you're making a great deal of progress in it. So why have you stuck to it? What is holding you in place?
Again, there's a satisfaction that I get out of helping people, period. I mean, I just get a satisfaction. One of my slogans that I've adopted is, I like making people happy they met me. There's a
Oh,
weight that comes off their shoulder when they know they need a policy. It's on their to-do list and has been for years. And then they meet me, and it's a simple process, and it's
mhm.
done.
Right. So there's that peace.
Yes, ma'am.
There's that inner peace. And that's what I was wanted to convey to the audience is that once you make that decision, and it's a major decision, but
It
it's a
is.
decision that a lot of people put off. But once you make that decision, there is peace.
Absolutely, there is. And when you don't make the decision, if I could go there,
Hmm.
the ramifications when you don't make that decision and death comes,
Yes.
you may be the breadwinner in the family, or you may contribute to the household functions.
Uh-huh.
But when
Okay.
that income is gone, that
Hmm.
changes the whole dynamics of that family. And they could be left with your debt. There's things that's why we call it final expense. It's not just, the cremation and the burial, but there are some things that are left behind that need to be taken care of. And the proceeds from an insurance policy makes it easier for the family to carry on.
Okay. Okay. And I also talked to you about the way that I see it as being rather selfish and to
You talk
not,
about, ma'am.
you know, because you're talking about people that are left, you're gone or you may be gone, but then there are people that are left that have to take care of what you leave behind. And to me, now this is just the way I see it as being selfish, not to think about the people that we're going to be leaving behind.
That is really true, Sister Jeannie. You said it really well. It is a bit selfish, to create a mess, and that's what ultimately it is. They'll have to figure it out, and a lot of times they have to figure it out, not knowing that you die without a policy in place. Now, there are
Oh,
those who don't have a policy in place and know that they don't. And then there are
mhm.
those who don't have a policy in place and believe that they do, but because they haven't, looked at it in a number of years. Um, because I review as well when I go and meet with a family,
Okay.
they have a policy in place. Allow me to review it to see if it's still functioning. You may have
Okay.
2 years left on it and you don't know. You may think you have a whole life and it's a term. I mean, there's so many variables.
Okay. So that's what I'm saying about keeping that balance and struggling for that balance, because sometimes we are so concentrating on living
Exactly.
that we don't find that balance on the other side, where, and we don't want to, we don't want to deal with it, and it does leave other people in a bind.
Yes,
And I
ma'am.
see it. I see it in my family. You know, there are always, blasts going out. We need help with, you know.
That part right there, Sister Jeannie. And not only that, your family may have really loved you,
Mhm.
but when you leave that mess behind, they don't like you. Let's
Yes,
be honest. We'll get it done, but how dare he? How dare she? You know, eh,
right.
especially when you're a functioning adult and you had a few dollars a month, you had $1 a day to to secure your burial plans, your final wishes, and
Yes.
yes, ma'am. I don't want to ride.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Both of us can get excited about it, because I know, um, and some people have such a stigma in their mind about insurance, and they think that, somebody's gonna go off with their money, and not, they won't end up with it. And I'm sure there, in some cases, there have. That's why it's important to be in contact with someone like you, that is reputable
Yes,
and they can trust.
yes, ma'am. You made a point running off with your money, and I'm going to say this, and I mean no disrespect to any funeral home or funeral home cremation, but when it comes to running off with the money, say there's a policy in place. My job, I like to say, my job is to make sure that the beneficiary benefits and not the funeral home. Sometimes there's been cases where there's a policy in place, and without the education that I give when I meet with someone, what the beneficiary needs to do with that policy, often we turn it over to the funeral home.
Mm.
Not always a good idea, because say there's a $50,000 policy.
Mm-hmm.
The funeral home is going to give you a $49,999 funeral if you let them.
Right. Okay.
So there is a way that, like I said, my job is to make certain, as best I can, that your beneficiary benefits.
Okay.
Because the cost of funerals are constantly going high. I guess you and I know that. The average
Right.
funeral today is between $12,000 and $15,000. That's a lot.
Ooh.
That's
Oh,
a lot of
yes.
money, and it's going to go higher. They're not state regulated, so the fact that they keep going up, it's actually legal. But if you have a conversation with me, I promise you, we do not have to pay that exorbitant price. And not just, final expense. I work with agents. We have all the policies, all the insurance policies. We have mortgage protection, term policies, income protection, all of that. But again, that final expense, and I'm focusing on that the most because if I'm out of the house 12 hours a day, all day, every day, I'm going to meet someone who doesn't have a policy, who doesn't have the right policy for their needs,
Mm-hmm.
or doesn't have enough. And all of that can be corrected with a conversation.
Okay, that's wonderful. I get from you, Sister Saida, that you really care, and see, and that makes a difference when you are communicating with people, just how much you care, about their needs.
The
And
majority of the time when I'm speaking with a client, it's education.
okay,
It's helping them to understand.
okay. Okay, and that I think that is really important to emphasize, because as I said in the beginning, talking about this subject is, it's heavy in itself, and it's not one of the subjects that anyone really wants to talk about. But if they are conversing with someone that they feel cares
It
and
does make
has,
a difference. It does make. I'm not a voice over the phone. Although if you need to speak to me over the phone, certain situations that you don't need someone in your home, I get that. I've helped people standing in the yard. It doesn't matter. I met someone recently this past week in in a restaurant. I'll do that. I'll do that. The bottom line is let's get this done so that weight is off your shoulder and your family is secure. The dependence that you may have, your spouse. A lot of times spouses have to relocate when the bread
oh,
when,
okay,
yes, ma'am.
okay, have to relocate.
Because nothing was in place to secure their future.
That's, oh, yes, yes, that makes sense. They may be moving out of a house that they have been in for years and years and years and years,
Exactly.
but
And
because,
that's a burden too. That's a hardship too. Along with you don't get a chance to grieve because you've got so much work to do.
yes, yeah, and that's why coming back to that kind of a selfish type thing,
Yes,
you
ma'am.
know, it's really showing, to me, it's a demonstration of love. We say we
No doubt.
love
No doubt.
each
Yes,
other,
ma'am.
but love is an action word.
Exactly.
And we can pretty much say, if your actions don't follow your words, then your words don't really mean very much.
Boys,
But
yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
so if someone, if I say I love my children, I
And
don't want to
don't
leave.
provide for them, I would question
Yes,
that love. Yes, ma'am.
yes,
Yes, ma'am.
ma'am. So that's why I think what you do is so important. And why, so that's why you stayed. You love what you're doing.
I absolutely do. And I love telling others about it. The way I got involved was, it wasn't planned, but there may be someone who absolutely or actually wants to do what I do. I hire. I
Okay.
hire
Oh,
agents.
okay.
I hire licensed agents. If you need to become licensed, we will walk you through that process as well. But that's available too. That's an option because truth told, there are not enough agents for the need.
Okay.
I
Okay.
mean, there are just in any city, in any state, there are simply not enough agents to service all the people who do not have any, do not have enough, or have the wrong kind.
Okay. That's a good point. You do hire because there are a
Yes,
lot of
ma'am.
people that need employment now. So that's a good point that you are hiring agents.
All states.
Okay. In all states.
All states. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. That's beautiful. Uh, your information, how to get in touch with you, because you've given us so much wonderful information. Okay, SC Muhammad. That's
My
your
first name is
Facebook,
Saida. Yes, ma'am. And that is
Saida.
my Facebook page. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, it's Facebook at SC Muhammad. And you also have a phone number where you can be contacted.
Toll free.
Toll free. Okay. Okay, there we have it. 833-77. Did I say 37?
Yes, ma'am.
H
Seven seven
A
seven.
okay, HAFE 4233.
Want to
So
make it
if,
easier to remember for hereafter final expense.
okay, and this is the name of your business is
Correct. Yes.
Hereafter Final Expense. Okay, and you also have an email, Hereafter Final Expenses at AOL.com.
Yes,
Is it
ma'am.
final expenses?
Final expense. No, ma'am. No S at the end. Final
Okay,
expense.
no S at the end.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's what I thought. I wanted to make that clear. That is final expense. There, see? We got it
Oh,
corrected
magic. Look
right
at that.
away. Okay. Hereafter final expense at AOL.com. And this is how we can get in touch with Sister Saida, someone that really cares about uh what
Helping
you,
families.
yes,
Helping
you care
families
about.
on the worst day of their life when their loved one dies.
Okay. And to make it as easy as possible
Yes,
to
ma'am.
be able deal with that. And so,
Yes,
Sister Saida, I really thank you
I
for
thank
being
you.
with me this evening. I thank you for all this wonderful information that you have given to us.
And that's just
And
the tip of the iceberg, Sister Jeannie. Please, if you have questions, they have further questions. I thank you for putting out my information. Thank you.
okay, okay. If you have any questions, please contact Sister Saida at her Facebook page, uh, her phone, or her email, and she will be more than happy to answer any questions that you may have. So again,
Absolutely.
thank you
Thank you,
so much,
sister.
and you have a wonderful rest of the evening.
You as well.
Okay, assalamu alaikum. Ah, that was such wonderful information, and I am so um happy to be able to talk about this in a way so that with dignity, because my show Inner Peace and Serenity is about uh that inner thing that's going on. And sometimes we, in our struggle for balance, we neglect one of the most important aspects, and that is making sure we have insurance. I have a small little slide presentation that I wanted to make this evening. So could we have the first slide, please? I want to um, talk about just finding balance. We say that life is what we make it. In our next slide, I want to go over. This is a quote. It says, "The bird must obtain its balance before it can fly. This is a sign to us in nature that part of the ordained struggle for us includes overcoming the difficulty we must encounter in order to achieve balance." This is a quote from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. In our next slide, we're going to, what is balance? As a noun, it's an even distribution of weight, enabling someone or something to remain upright and steady, such as she lost her balance before falling. And as a verb, is to keep or put something in a steady position so that it does not fall. A mug that she balanced on her knee. And so I want, in struggling for balance, inner peace is about finding balance in a time of upheaval. And we can all agree that we are living in a time of upheaval. It's a balance between mind, body, and soul. And that is what I do as a holistic wellness coach, a life coach, a happiness and confidence and assertive coach. I strive to help my clients find a balance between mind, body, and soul. In my book, which is the book that I wrote that inspired this program, Finding Inner Peace and Serenity, a Spiritual Journey. You can order it from my website, iamjeannem.com. You can also order it. Uh, Go to my Facebook page, Jeannie Muhammad. And I want to bring up this last slide because it's about finding inner peace. It's about having that inner peace. My website again is www.iamjeannem.com. And my Facebook page is Jeannie Muhammad. And you can email me at jeannie@iamjeannie.com or jeanniemuhammad@gmail.com. So thank you so much for being with me this evening. And I pray that I have given you some information that will be helpful to you in finding inner peace and serenity. I will see you next month, the first Thursday in the month. And until then, take a few deep breaths, let them out slow. Thank you for being with us. Good night.
Welcome to Inner Peace and Serenity with your host, speaker, coach, facilitator, Jeanne Muhammad. Join us every first Thursday of the month, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as we talk everything self-improvement. So take back your pen, take back your life, right here on Keever's Place. Thank you for watching Keever's Place, the Keever Murdoch Show and Podcast. Tune in every Thursday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Keever's Place. To be a guest on our show, text the word guest to 803-368-3030 or visit us at tinyurl.com/Keever's Place Booking. And watch us on Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire as we're broadcasting in more than 60 million homes worldwide.